René Bengelsdorf, aviation CEO, FAA board alum, and high-performance business coach. From the cockpit to the control tower, I've interviewed women across the industry. You're in for a treat with these mini episodes. I hope they whet your appetite for the longer versions that will drop every Tuesday going forward. Welcome to the Fly Girls Guide podcast. Hey, welcome to this episode of the Fly Girls Guide to Aviation Careers. I have my friend Crystal with us from Atlanta and Delta Airlines. Crystal, welcome to the show. Will you tell everyone what you do?
Yes. Hi, Renee. Thank you for having me. I am the general manager of aircraft acquisitions at Delta Airlines, and I oversee all of our entry into service programs. And what that means is from the time we sign the purchase agreement for a new aircraft order to the time we take the very last delivery in our order book, I oversee the configuration process of the aircraft and then the onboarding of the aircraft to the airline. We call that airline readiness. So that's the full entry into service program. I'm also a Delta captain. I fly the A320.
So you pick out the seats and then like a couple months later, there's a new aircraft?
Exactly. That's exactly how it happened. Not quite. It's about a 3.5-year process.
Wow.
We start with the configuration of the aircraft. So we have teams. I work with all the teams at Delta who select the seats, select the galley configuration, who pick out the avionics package, who pick out the paint scheme. I work with that entire team to build the aircraft the way that Delta wants it, and then make sure that we are ready as an airline to take delivery of it. So it's about a 3.5-year process from start to finish.
So it's not an order form on Amazon Prime.
No, wish it was, but not quite the way it works.
What skills do you think that serve you well in your current position that people need to have in order to be good at an aircraft acquisition or fleet entry into service position?
Yeah, I think one of the best skills you can have is just a curiosity for getting to the bottom of things and how things work. A lot of times you have to become an expert on something that you never even knew was either an issue or a thing. One example of that would be I have become an expert on seat certification, which I never knew anything about as a pilot of an airplane, but there is a lot of work that goes into the seats that get on your aircraft or the in-flight entertainment systems. So having curiosity on, like things that you never even thought were a thing or existed is a really important skill in my role.
So you flew all over the world when you were a pilot, and now are you just sitting in an office, or is there still some element of travel to your job?
No, there's actually quite a lot of travel because unfortunately none of the aircraft manufacturers work in Atlanta. So one of them is in Europe. So I get to go there quite a bit, actually, because that's where they build and configure the airplanes. And they have these big design centers, but both in Seattle and in Europe. And so while we're configuring aircraft, we typically will visit them and work through the configuration of the aircraft together. So there is still quite a lot of travel. A lot of our suppliers are located all over the world. So I'm just not flying the airplane to get there typically.
I love it. What's a mantra that you live by?
Well, without sounding too cliche, my favorite mantra is keep climbing. It's Delta's mantra. And I just love the idea of staying curious, always trying to be better, always trying to be innovative and cutting edge. And what needs to be done to get to elevate whatever it is to the next level. And so it's a mantra that I use not only in my career, but in my life, because, we should always be thinking like, how can we do this better? How can we improve? How can we serve our customers better? How can I serve my family better? So I love the mantra, keep climbing.
I love that you love challenge so much. I think it's served you so well in so many areas of your life. Crystal, thanks so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, Renee.
Thanks for listening. If this inspired you, subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss even more brilliance in the episodes to come.